Good evening, I'm Ashim Kumar and you're watching Ukraine Brief on TVP World. Today is the 1,322nd day of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Russian attacks across Ukraine have killed at least one civilian and wounded at least 33 in the past 24 hours. Moscow launched 152 attack drones and 2 ballistic missiles, with Ukrainian air defenses reportedly intercepting 88 of the UAVs. 2 missiles and 52 drones struck 10 locations across the country, according to the Ukrainian Air Force. In the north, Sumy region saw 7 people injured following Russian attacks, the national police reported. In the neighbouring Kyiv region, Russian forces targeted the city and surrounding areas with 2 missiles and more than 25 attack drones. An FPV drone struck a vehicle in Borova, wounding 2 civilians, local authorities said. Donetsk region saw 25 attacks on civilian areas in the past day, wounding 5 in Kostiantynivka and damaging residential buildings. In Slovyansk, Russia struck a school and a college, also damaging nearby apartment buildings and surrounding infrastructure. In Kherson, Russian forces launched a massive rocket barrage, killing 1 civilian and injuring at least 20 others, including 3 children. 2 apartment buildings and over 100 private houses, cars, along with other civilian infrastructure, were damaged. In Zaporizhia region, 1 woman was wounded during a Russian attack, while a separate FPV drone strike hit a car in Huliapol with no injuries reported. Russian forces also struck energy and railway infrastructure in Poltava, hitting a locomotive depot, power lines, and traction substations, according to Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister for Reconstruction. Following recent Russian attacks on Ukraine's energy sector, including one last Friday that severely damaged gas production and power transmission facilities, the country plans to increase natural gas imports by 30%.
We plan to increase imports by around 30% if we manage to expand our import capacity. Of course, first of all, it depends on attacks. Secondly, it depends on how quickly we can recover, and only then can we predict. With the intensity of attacks that we are seeing now regarding electricity in near frontline areas, we are introducing temporary solutions. Unfortunately, we currently have hourly outage schedules in Chernihiv region.
The Kremlin said that it is awaiting clarification from the US regarding the possible supply of Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. On Monday, US President Donald Trump said he wants to know what Ukraine plans to do with the Tomahawks.
Yeah, I've sort of made a decision, pretty much, if you consider. Yeah, I think I want to find out what they're doing with them. Yes. You know, where are they sending them, I guess? I'd have to ask that question.
The Kremlin said on Tuesday it is waiting a clarification from the US on the possible supply of Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. Spokesman Dmitry Peskov warned Moscow would view such deliveries as a serious escalation, noting the missiles could potentially carry nuclear warheads. Finland's President Alexander Stubb said on Tuesday that after visiting Ukraine, he would speak with US President Donald Trump during this trip to Washington on October the 9th and convey messages from his recent visit to Kyiv.
My message, and in the conversation that I'll have with President Trump on Thursday, we'll look at a lot of the facts on the ground. And I can also bring messages from my recent visit to Kyiv, where I had a chance to have one-on-one conversations with President Zelensky and also get an extensive security briefing of the situation on the battlefield. Then it is, of course, up to the President of the United States to decide what he does with the information. I keep on stressing that the President is very curious in gathering as much information as possible and then, of course, draws his own conclusions.
Ukrainian drones have destroyed a Russian signal jamming station in the occupied Luhansk region. Fighters from the 412th Nemesis Regiment of the Unmanned System Forces struck a rare and costly Russian jamming station. Only 23 such units have been visually confirmed destroyed since the start of the full-scale invasion. The station can jam ground radio communications up to 25 kilometers and aerial communications up to 50 kilometers, detect sources of radio emissions and disrupt satellite signals, GPS navigation and GSM base stations. And that's all from us in this episode, but stay tuned, lots more coming up as always. Goodbye.